This sense of self-preservation should be priority 101 for everybody. And that should be a non-negotiable from the minute you get up.
My name is Zenka. I'm founder of LightNet, and my passion and purpose is to make the impossible possible. I'm here today with Davinia Taylor. She is an actress, a biohacker, a best-selling author, and a wellness rebel on a mission to help women reclaim their vitality and their power. You might remember her from Hollyoaks or the wild days of London's Primrose Hill set. However, her real story began when everything crashed. After battling addiction and losing her health, Davinia dove into the science of the body, discovering how food, light, hormones, and a mindset can completely rewire a life. She has best-selling books called It's Not a Diet and Hack Your Hormones, and a supplement brand called Willpower, because she says it's not about willpower, it's about understanding your biology. She, along with our last two podcast guests, really talk about becoming unstoppable is really understanding your biology.
Right now, my purpose right now is to make this journey, these experiences I'm lucky enough to have found myself immersed in, accessible to the public, accessible to the people who follow me, who trust me, who've bought my books. You know, I want to take the essence that's here and put it into everyone's home, no matter where you are on the planet. This sense of self-preservation should be priority 101 for everybody. And that should be a non-negotiable from the minute you get up. I've discovered my purpose through trial and error. I mean, I've had ups and downs. I've had the most awful trauma with my addictive personality, and I've come through it. And I think it was all a journey. You know, you've got to go through the rough to get the smooth. And because I've got all the war scars, I think people trust me. And I've got this big sense of adventure. I don't know what it is about me. I'm always seeking dopamine. I always want to know what's next. So that drives me and propels me to say, I'll give that a go. And I'll feed it back to anyone who's interested. The breakthrough moment for me was, I mean, I've got sober 100 years ago, it feels like. So when I lost my mother, I picked up, I didn't pick up alcohol. I picked up junk food. Or what I now know is junk food, you know, breads, granola, like sourdough pizza. I mean, I couldn't stop eating it. What I didn't realize was these were addictive foods. And then I got into another trap, an entrapment. I felt lethargic and shattered. But it was when I discovered this molecule, this just in the humble coconut, this medium chain triglyceride that helped me say no to the world's most addictive foods. That for me was a relief and a revelation. And I thought, I've got to get this out to the public. There are millions of women who are going through the perimenopause and becoming more insulin resistant, that they're shattered. They can't stop eating. They're eating for energy, but it's actually working against them. It doesn't work anymore. So when I discovered this molecule, I thought, I've got to get it out there. I've got to powder it, and I've got to get it to anyone who'll listen. And it's working. People are getting ahead of the craving, and they're not a slave to big food anymore. Me being driven in the direction I am, I hope is beneficial to my 4 kids. They see what purpose does for somebody, whether it's conventional or in my case not. I left school at 16 to become an actor, you know, much against my parents' permission. They were just, oh my God, you've got to finish school, you've got to do this, you've got to go to university. I had my brain and my instinct had different ideas. And it's made me relax as a mother, because now at 45, I'm doing what I was born to do, communicating, absorbing, translating things into layman's terms. I don't know how I can do it, but I just can. I didn't learn that at school. And it's helped me relax into what my kids are doing. I mean, several years ago, I never would have taken my kids out of school to come away here. But I think life's for living. And it's like osmosis. Children learn things really quickly. You know, they're molding. And the younger I can get them into this acceptance that, you know, life is for being creative, I think then you got the keys to the kingdom. And you can be led by your own gut instinct, as long as you've got a healthy gut, which we learnt about here. So good microbiome, good direction. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's given them an insight into health. They can stay away. I can teach them. No, don't have that, have this. See how you feel. Check in with yourself. I mean, that's all it's about. Okay, so if you're looking for a purpose, the thing is, it's about patience, and me being the most impatient, irrational human being on the planet, that's been tricky. But I guess when things go wrong now, I kind of vibe with it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn from this. I have got a survival instinct, which anyone who is in the thick of it right now probably knows they have, because they know essentially they're going to come out of it. You know, deaths, trauma, divorces, whatever you're going through right now, we know we're going to survive it. We're going to have a badge of honor, and you're going to move on from it, and you're going to teach people how to get through that. So no matter what you're in right now, it's a learning curve, and you learn in pain. You adapt in pain. So that's my lesson. I've been through a hell of a lot of pain. I mean, coming off alcohol is the most horrific, debilitating, skin-crawling experience. You feel like you're possessed with the devil. That, and then all of a sudden, you got carbohydrates to contend with, divorces to contend with, custody battles to contend with. I'll teach you how to survive them. And that's what I think everyone's purpose is. If you're getting to a certain age, you can teach the next generation how to navigate it and how to just trust the process. Trust the resilience. That's what it is. Trust the process. Life is painful, but that is the gift, weirdly.